Hi guys. Well, I found a phone holder thing that fits on my tripod, so we're gonna hope that this one doesn't break too. I kind of messed up. I want to share a recipe with you. It is a family tradition in my family. It's my dad's side. We've got Danish, quite a bit of Dane. My mom has some Dane, and we make it's a Danish wedding cake, but we use it for the groom's cake. And I want to I'll show you the box because I don't know that I can pronounce it right. Kransekaka. But I'm going to show you how I make it. I've already mixed up the batter, and the hardest part of making this cake is finding the almond paste. But my aunt, who recently passed away, I think she was 95, but she told me always use Blue Diamond almond paste. And I know she's been making these cakes for, I'm going to guess 50 years at least, if not longer. But the almond paste, Blue Diamond quit making that. And so, yeah, you can get almond paste in little bitty, 3-4 ounce tubes. But this takes almost a gallon of almond paste. And so I buy it in gallon cans. Anyway, I was able to find some. My cousin in New Orleans, she also makes some, and she was able to help me. But blah, blah, blah. So, one recipe calls for 3 cups of almond paste. And let me show you what almond paste looks like. Okay, this is, I don't know, I call it a gallon can. Maybe some people call it a number 10 can. But I have made 2 batches out of this. And I'll probably end up making the third, and that I think each can has enough almond paste to make 3 recipes. And it's got almonds and sugar in it. And I've tried making it from scratch, but boy, it's not easy. And mine doesn't turn out as good. What you do basically, if you make it from scratch, is you make into an almond butter, and then you add sugar to it. But to me, it's just easier to buy it. So it's 3 cups of almond paste, 3 egg whites, and 1.5 cups of sugar. And this almond paste is really pretty stiff, and you mix it all up, and then you refrigerate it. I've got 3 pans in the oven so far. I've sprayed my pans, but the pans look like this. They make rings. So I've got 3 pans in the oven. It takes 6 pans. I know, it's confusing, but it takes 6 pans to make 1 cake. And each pan has 3 rings, so it's 18 rings to make a cake about like this. And like I said, we do double and fill in with. Our family loves this cake. It's kind of crispy on the outside and so chewy on the inside. And I make the cakes. I am not a decorator. I think I've told you all that. I can't even frost a cake. A plain old flat cake. So, but my sister's the decorator in the family. So I make the cakes. I take the rings to the wedding and I give it to them. And usually what I do is I buy a bottle of champagne that sits inside the rings. But at the end of this video, I'll try to attach some pictures of a couple of the cakes that I've made in most recent years if I can find them. And I've made my boys' wedding cakes, my nephews. I've had a bunch of nephews get married, and my niece is getting married next month in May. So that's what I'm making this cake for now. So I'll put together a pan of rings and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, here's one of the pans with 3 rings in it. When the other 3 pans come out of the oven, the next 3 pans will go in. So I've got a double batch mixed up in this bowl. You don't want to make it 2 batches at a time. Make it a single batch because doing it double, it really is a stiff dough to work with. So I just made 2 batches, stuck them in this bowl, and put them in the refrigerator. Get a little bit of the dough. My cloth here is lightly floured. And you just roll them snakes. I'm sure y'all done that at some point with something that you've made. Oh, and I will tell you, our family loves mistakes when we make this cake. Because it's like, oh shucks. Guess I'm going to have to eat that because we can't serve it at the wedding. Okay, so I roll them out, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch diameter. Get one of my pans. This has been sprayed with, I'm not crazy about this oil. I've used it before. I think I've told you guys. I'll never buy it again. It's canola oil. But it's good enough. And you just lay it in here. And I'm going to keep doing it until I fill all of the pans. And then they go in an oven at 325 degrees for about 20 minutes. You don't want them to get brown. Light golden brown is okay. So you got to watch them. Once they get close, you got to keep a good eye on them. Okay, this is what they look like when they come out. And I always freak out and panic, and because they look so broken up like this. And tell you the truth, I'm going through the same old feelings as, oh my gosh, I don't know. But what you do is you let them cool while they're in the pan. And I gotta tell you, oh shucks, when I took one of the pans out, one of the rings broke. Dadgummit, I think we're gonna have to eat it. Oh well. Okay guys, well I wanted to show you where I messed up. This is that first pan that I took out. And I noticed that it wasn't, you know what this means? Oh shucks, we get to eat this. But those first couple pans I took out too soon. They're supposed to be crisp on the outside and soft and chewy on the inside. And so I put all of them back in and I let them get to about this shade of golden brown. And when you take them out, this is what you have, is rings like this. And these are crispy on the outside, and I can tell they're going to be soft and chewy on the inside. So, I was wrong. You got to make them a little bit darker. And as I go along, I'll show you how they stack up and how it's going to look. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to finish this tomorrow. It's kind of late in the day, and time to get thinking about what to do this evening. Yeah. I've got all these bags of these rings of different sizes.
You don't want to make it too runny, it'll run right off.
Well, it has to be.
The main decorator was not able to make it, so now we're all
but that
kind
might
of
be a little bit.
putting
They're a
this
little
together.
too thick still?
And as you
Do we
can
need
see,
a
they're
knife?
falling
Little too
apart.
thick still?
So they're going to have to glue
I
them.
wouldn't put much.
Guys, the troop is still working on the cake.
That's good.
There's a clump.
That's
There
my
goes
daughter.
the clump.
Whoops, she broke the clump loose.
Oh, it's drippy.
Wow, I didn't, yeah,
That's what I
well,
kept
when I
saying,
called you
thick
guys the
okay.
other day, you were in like,
Michael, is this?
This is
Kathy?
your family, I'm not
Yeah.
in the family.
Here is
You made the
the
cake.
decorating committee of the
Yes.
See
Well,
guys?
Barb should be in here. She baked the cake.
No, I don't need in there because it's my YouTube video. These people know me. Anyway, that is the decorating committee. There were a couple others that helped, but these guys had to kick them out.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
look at this.
Turns out really cute, doesn't it?
Famous.
So
What are you looking at?
just so y'all know,
Voila.
My sister-in-law, my mother, my
Look at the
daughter,
table.
and my sister-in-law's twin sister. So it's been a fun day. Okay, guys, this is the cake. We had a little bit of trouble, so it's a little bit lopsided. But what you do, those are all rings. Again, this is a Danish wedding cake. And we call them little pillows. They're little pieces that set beside, and you start eating those first. And then when you're gone, you start taking the rings off and just breaking them into about 2-inch pieces. And this is the only cake that the kids are going to have because it's a family tradition. And instead of cake, they're serving cookies. What a great idea. Anyway, you can do any kind of decorating you want. Some people put flags. I'm going to try to find some more of the wedding cakes that we used over the years and different things. You can make them really fancy. You can do whatever you want, but the best part is they are delicious. Right now, we broke up pieces, and all you do is set these next to the cake. We've got serving trays next to the cake, and pieces. People take as many of those as they want. And I'm telling you, you have one bite, try one piece. It doesn't look too inviting, but before you know it, these are gone. And I've been to weddings. I baked the cake, and by the time I get back to have a piece, the entire cake is gone. I thought I would explain. Notice how it got cracks and it's a little uneven. I really struggled with this one, but I still think it turned out okay. And again, this is just simply decorated with one rose in the top and baby's breath.